Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm back. I appreciate all the feedback, responses, and comments to my previous videos. Back with another recipe today that I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy. What we're going to do is we're going to take a classic Italian entree and put it on a sub roll, and that is chicken spedini. Chicken spedini, which happens to be one of my favorite dishes when I go to an Italian restaurant, is a garlic lover's dream. It's got the robust garlic flavor, it has the zest of the lemon and the depth of the olive oil. But what sets this apart is the actual amogio sauce. And that is olive oil, lemon, garlic, lemon zest, parsley, salt, and pepper. And I'm going to show you guys how to make that. It's breaded in Italian breadcrumbs, drizzled with the amogio sauce, and then put on the grill to blacken a little bit. It's absolutely delicious. What we're going to do is actually put that on Italian sub rolls with some red lettuce, grape tomatoes, pickled red onions, and a homemade pesto mayo. On the side, what we're going to do is we're going to have some wedged grilled sweet potatoes with a homemade parmesan dipping sauce that I guarantee is going to be delicious. So when I come back, I'm going to show you how to prepare all this. Hey guys, now that I got everything set up and got another beer, we're ready to move forward on the preparation itself. The first thing you want to do so we can start to marinate it together, you can do this the night before, the week before, you can just keep this in your fridge year round, is make the amogio sauce. Just like a dressing, I use the decanter because I can mix it up really well. You can also heat this up and then cool it down, put it in a container, and it's just as good. So what I've got is I have 1.5 cups of olive oil, 1.5 cups of lemon juice, 4 tablespoons of butter, about a tablespoon of lemon zest, tablespoon of garlic, and here we have a half teaspoon of both cracked black and salt, and a teaspoon of parsley, dried parsley. You can use fresh, but dried's just fine because it'll soak into everything else and liven it up. And then you just simply mix that up. There you got your base for your amogio sauce. Next thing we want to do is go ahead and prepare the chicken spedini skewers. Anytime you're using skewers, be sure to soak them in water for a while, get an hour or two before, or they're just going to light on fire as soon as you put it on the grill. A lot of recipes will call to go ahead and dredge your chicken in olive oil and butter beforehand, but you don't really need to if you're going to make the amogio sauce. There's enough on it to go ahead and take hold of the breading. So what we're going to do is take 2 cups of Italian breadcrumbs, half cup of Parmesan grated cheese, and a tablespoon of cracked black pepper. That's it. That's all you need because there's going to be plenty of flavor on everything else. Mix that up real good. Like I said, this is a breaded chicken, but it's going on the grill and it's going to be charred. And that char adds a lot of flavor to it. Alright, got that good and mixed up. Next step is to go ahead and build the skewers. You can either wrap them up on the skewer first and then roll them in the breadcrumbs, but I like to get the breadcrumbs all the way through. So I'll go ahead and take my chicken, and with the chicken what I've done is I've taken a boneless, skinless chicken breast, cut it in half. Take 2 sheets of wax paper and put the chicken breast in between. Take a culinary mallet or the back of a metal spoon, and you're going to want to pound that down to about a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch thin. After that, cut it into strips of inch, inch and a half, whatever you like, because you're actually going to roll this through on the skewer to make little chunks of spedini bites. So I take it, I'll put it straight from there right into the breadcrumbs. Set that aside. Make sure they're good and coated. That breading is going to help absorb that amogio sauce, which is almost the highlight of this meal, besides the chicken itself. Like I said, this is an Italian entree. It's actually a classic Italian entree that if you like garlic, you like robust flavor, it often goes with a white sauce like a fettuccine alfredo or something like that. But you can also get different types of spedini, like a spedini diablo that has a spicy red sauce. This here is a chicken spedini with an amogio sauce, which is lemon, garlic, and butter. Okay, now that we got those breaded up, it's time to build our skewers. Again, monster fingers because you are doing breading. Be sure anytime you're cooking with fish, chicken, any raw meats that you wash your hands so you don't cross-contaminate anything. Get that breading out of the way. Again, I've got my soaked skewers. What I'm going to do is take my chicken strips, go through, fold up a little bit, fold it back, and just kind of S-curve it through the skewer so you have a nice fold of chicken all across. And do that till the skewer's full. You don't want to fill the skewer up because you still need to grab it off the grill once we put it on there. So on these strips, I'll probably put 2 to 3, maybe 4 if they're small. Sometimes you're just going to have chunks of chicken. That's just fine. Nothing wrong with that. While you're doing this, start thinking about the next step. As I mentioned, we're going to have sweet potato wedges that are grilled, placed on the side with a homemade parmesan garlic dipping sauce that is absolutely delicious. Okay, we got these skewers ready to go. Go ahead and wash my hands again. Okay, in the end you should have a product that looks like basically breaded chicken shish kebabs that look S-curved on there. Go ahead and set those aside. And let's move on to the sweet potatoes. We're going to make sweet potato wedges that are grilled. Now, if we were to slice them up, put them straight on the grill, they would cook unevenly. So what you want to do is take your sweet potatoes, put them in a pot, put about half water up on the potato itself, bring it to a boil, and let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes until it's not real hard to pierce. The skin of the potato, that is. What I have here are 2 sweet potatoes that I've already boiled them. They've been set to simmer and they are tender enough to where I can slice them up into wedges and throw them in some olive oil. All I do on these is use salt and pepper, olive oil, let them rest. They go on the grill because what's going to happen is the flavor of the... Alright guys, sorry about the 2-part video, but I'm going to have to do it in 2 parts. Where I left off was describing what you had to do with the sweet potatoes. So they cook evenly. What you need to do is put them in a pot, boil them about halfway up with water. Once they hit the boiling point, turn it down, let them simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's going to ensure, once you put them on the grill, they're going to be nice and flavorful, but evenly cooked. Almost like a sweet potato French fry wedge. But once they're ready, they've been boiled. These have been setting for about 20 minutes. All I do is I have them. Have those again. Then if I have a bigger slice, I will actually quarter that. Place those in a dish. That guy there's a little big. We'll go ahead and shave him down too. Now, from here, I just simply drizzle with some olive oil. And season with salt and pepper. You don't need much more because there's going to be a dipping sauce that's going to add a tremendous amount of flavor to these guys. Those are ready to go. Like I said, what we're going to do, we're going to put these on an Italian sub roll, and we're going to dress that with coarsely chopped red lettuce, grape tomatoes, got a homemade basil, mayo, and then our homemade amogio sauce. On top of that, we're going to use some pickled red onions, and all I do is I slice up a red onion really thin and soak it in red wine vinegar for anywhere 2 to 4 hours. It really takes that bite away, but still gives the onion flavor, and it complements this dish very well. We'll be right back, and I'll show you the next step, which is the grilling portion. Okay, y'all, so all we have left is to get everything on the grill. Everything's dressed, ready to go. Coals are at the right temperature. You want to be sure that before you put anything on the grill, especially these sweet potatoes, because they're already tender, that you oil the grill up a little bit. And what I do for that is I just take some aluminum foil, a little bit of olive oil, and put it right over the grilling surface that I'm actually going to cook on. You can use a sprayed olive oil or something like that, and that'll work just fine. So at this point, we just want to take our spedini and our sweet potatoes, put them on the grill. These are both going to go on for about 10 or 15 minutes and should get done about the same time. Okay, at this point, we're just going to close the lid. Wait about 10-15 minutes. We'll flip them in between to get some good, nice char marks on all the sides. And then I'll come back and show you how to dress the sandwich. Alright, so it's been about 12 minutes. In between, I have turned everything to get a nice coloring on all sides. At this point, what I'm going to do, because we're about ready to pull everything off, is take some of your amogio sauce. Go ahead and dredge the chicken. It's going to flare up. That is just fine. All that's going to do is add a little bit of color and a little bit of char to it. So we're getting ready to pull them off. Set that aside. Toss them around a couple times. Get our sweet potato wedges. And we are ready to plate. So what you have now are two chicken spedini skewers with the amogio sauce. You have your sweet potato wedges, and we're ready to plate this guy up. What I like to do is take your Italian sub roll, cut it about halfway down, open it up just a bit, pinch in the middle. Go ahead and place it on the grill. You're only going to do this for maybe 10-15 seconds. All you're going to do is heat that up a little bit. It allows everything to embed really well. There we go. Okay, so now that we have our bread ready, everything is ready. The first thing you want to do is take your red lettuce, put it along one side, grab your basil mayo, liberally put it on the other side. You're going to want quite a bit of this. Fold that up a little bit. Take one of your skewers, Pull off your chicken spedini, put it right on the bed of lettuce. Top that with some of your pickled red onion. Your grape tomatoes. And then finally drizzle it with some of your amogio sauce. The amogio sauce goes a long ways, and it is actually the all-star of this dish. Set that aside. Let's grab our plate. Take your sweet potato wedges, place those. Take your spedini sub, get it on the plate. Now take some of your Parmesan garlic dipping sauce, which is Greek yogurt, about 1.5 cups of Greek yogurt. We're going to put in a teaspoon of garlic, a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, and a teaspoon of all-purpose Italian seasoning, or you can just throw in oregano, parsley, rosemary, stuff like that to achieve your own. Drizzle that right over the top of these guys. And you have a formal Italian dish, chicken spedini, on a sub roll with sweet potato wedges and a Parmesan garlic dipping sauce. Enjoy, y'all.